This is Drop Duchy. This game was recommended to me by a colleague who posted it on our work Slack and was like, hey, anybody seen this game? And it's a weird one. It is a deck-building Tetris city builder with a battle mechanic. And that sounds complicated. It's fairly straightforward once you start getting into it, though, so let's start a new run, and we'll do this from the beginning. We'll do normal difficulty, normal parameters, normal everything. And I haven't unlocked any other stuff, so we're going to do it as the Duchy. We'll just jump into it, and I'll start explaining it as we go. Okay, so I start by choosing one of these two places. They're both peaceful regions. We're not going to do any conflict yet. One of them is mostly forest. The other one is mostly fields. Now, I should look at my deck and see which one I benefit the most from. So I've got a farm that wants to have... I shouldn't have said fields before. Plains is what it is. So the farm wants to be by plains. This one, it recruits soldiers based on being near plains. And this one turns forests into plains. I'm a very plains-focused group here. So let's go with the one that is more plains. And so it's showing me what Tetris blocks are going to be coming at me and what special blocks I've got. So here's how it works. They just start dropping Tetris blocks on me. The Tetris blocks move very slowly, and actually you can kind of reset them pretty much anytime you want to. So it's not really... the challenge of this is not trying to, like, you know, drop the Tetris blocks into good places within a time limit because they're moving so fast, like in other Tetris-like games. Instead, what you're trying to do is place them cleverly so that your strategy benefits from how you've placed them. So let's put this guy down. I'd like to use the spacebar to just drop it real fast. Drop that down. Oh, I should have been paying attention. This guy does not play nicely with these pieces. Whatever. Let's put it there. Okay, so now I've got my farm. And the reason they drop these so slowly is so that you have time to read what's going on. So this will turn each plane in range into a field. So for instance, if I put it here, it will turn those nearby slots into fields. And yeah, I'm doing poorly at this already. There isn't a good place to put this block, so I'm just going to eat the fact that I'm making a hole right there. This one turns forests into plains, and I get wood for doing that. So, I guess I'll... Actually, you know what I should have done? I'm forgetting about the mechanics of this game. There was a good move I could have made a second ago, and I didn't make it. But that's a good move, because each time you drop a piece next to a piece that's got an active ability like that, the piece will still do its ability. Okay, so I can slot that one in. And... I mean, I guess I can do this. And so normally in Tetris, this would be a good move because you'd be eliminating a row. However, rows do not get eliminated in this game. One thing you can do, though, is you can hide a piece over on the side there that you don't want to deal with, and you can bring it back later. Well, actually, I think I want to swap that in right now. So... Oh, wait. Oh, there's a four piece coming in. You know what? I'm just going to drop this here. Why not? Okay, so this watchtower, it wants to be next to plains and fields. It's about making armies, though, and this is a peaceful zone, so kind of who cares about armies? I'm just going to stick it in there to fill that hole. It's made some armies that I don't need. Then I don't want this. I want this. Boom. So what it does is, rather than eliminating lines, it explores lines. When a line gets explored, it feeds resources into you based on the kind of terrain it is. And then those resources get used outside of the round to buy stuff. Good enough. Okay, so I could have played that a little bit more cleverly, but it's fine. We did okay. They said it was well done, and I will take their word for it. So we've collected these resources, la-di-da, and now I get to select a new card, which represent new pieces that will be brought into future games. So I could grab one of these production ones, like this one turns forests into plains. I think I already have one of these. This one collects money. Money is used to heal you. Collects money for each terrain square in its row. That's okay. And the training camp sends 12 dudes to each allied military building aligned with it. That seems pretty powerful, actually. I'm going to grab this guy. When I talk about healing, by the way, I should point out that I've got a health bar over there. It's at 50, which is where it's going to stay for a while until I get into a fight. I just grabbed a military card. Let's grab a production card. Ooh, this one's military, though. Okay, fine. Okay, so this one takes advantage of forest pieces. This one will take advantage of fields, which that other one makes. That could be valuable. Let's grab more military production, though, because I think we're about to get into some fights. Yes, so we've got some hostile regions. So there's a fight here, and avoiding a fight here, but this will make the boss tougher at the end if I avoid a fight. So let's go with... This one's mostly plains. Let's look at our deck again real quick. So this one recruits guys based on there being forest pieces nearby. So having some forest and some plain is probably a good idea. So I'm going to grab this hostile region. Okay, so now in addition to the normal terrain pieces falling like before, I've got enemy pieces that are falling. And I'm going to have, my own military pieces falling like before. In fact, let's buy a few more spaces for these. So I'm spending that food resource to expand my army. Let's grab the training camp. And then let's also grab the hunting lodge. Okay, so now those new tiles that I unlocked, they've been added to my collection. So now I'll be playing with these terrain tiles, my own production and military pieces, and these enemy pieces. So you saw in the previous round that when I placed my army generating, my military tile, it started generating troops based on how it was positioned amongst the other tiles. The same thing is true about these enemy tiles. So what I'm trying to do is when I get a blue military tile, I want to place it in an advantageous way so that it generates a lot of troops. When I place an enemy tile, I want to place it in a disadvantageous place where it will not be gaining a bunch of troops. And this is where I get tripped up sometimes. Sometimes I just see the challenge on the enemy tile and I'm like, ooh, a challenge. And I just start solving it instead of realizing, wait, no, that's an enemy. I need to not make the game easier for them. Another thing I want to point out, well, this is worth bearing in mind for later on. Archers beat axes, swords beat archers, axes beat swords. So there's like a rock, paper, scissors thing going on, and we'll take advantage of that later on. Okay, so we're starting with the mercenary camp. It garrisons 8, and it looks like that's all it does. It doesn't have any special abilities. So I'm going to just drop it here and drop a plane on it. Now I've got a farm that will turn plains into fields. Cool. And the reason we like fields is because they generate more food when they get explored. I'm going to start collecting forests over here. That seems right-ish. Yeah, let's do that. Yay, line explored. Put that there. Now, putting this here means it will not make a field here. However, I could also place my woodcutter on top of it and turn it into a plain. So I think I'm going to do that because that's where it fits. And, this is risky because that. I'm going to do it anyway, like an idiot. Okay, enemy piece. Garrisons 8, and it recruits 10 extra guys for each military building aligned with it. Aligned means on these lines. So if I place it here, it's going to get 10 extra troops. So I need to not do that. Oh wait, no, each enemy military building. I think that means, yeah, it doesn't get an advantage from being here, but it does get an advantage from being aligned with one of my buildings. So I'm going to stick it here because I think it'll help me just sort of keep holes from appearing. But wait, no, but I'm going to put a hunting lodge in this area. Never mind. Let's drop it here. That'll keep it out of the way. And then, what is the good way to Guess this. And then this seems fine-ish, except I think it might make it... I'm making it increasingly difficult for myself to ever turn this into a plane. I might not ever. Also, this has already been explored, so I think we might have just sort of missed our chance there. Okay, so each connected forest piece is going to give me extra axemen. So I'm going to put this in a big pile of forest. So it counts up not all the forest squares, but the separate forest pieces. Counts all those up, and it gives me extra axemen. And then, okay, I've made a big hole here for myself that's going to be a problem. I guess I will place that there. Training camp. Send 12 to each military building aligned with it. Like friendly or enemy, I'm pretty sure. So I want to place this here so it's aligned with my own military building. I do not want it to end up aligned with an enemy military building. So I've just expanded my own military. And I've got a watchtower. It likes plains and fields. So I can drop it here. However, if I drop it here, it'll be aligned with the training camp. And so even though it would get 3 guys per field here, it's going to get even more guys for being aligned with the training camp. So I think this is the better move. And now this will become a connected forest piece with this, so it'll add troops. And now I've got an alarm tower. It wants to be aligned with enemy buildings, so let's put it here where it's not aligned with my buildings. And then we've got the wood clear, which turns forests into plains. And I don't think anywhere that I place it, these little white dots represent its range. I don't think I can put it in a place that benefits this guy. So I'm just going to drop it here semi-uselessly, just to make it easier to explore all these lines. And then, I'll put that there, I guess. But, I didn't need to do that because that guy will fit here and give troops to the archers and explore a bunch of stuff. My exploration's going better than usual. Let's drop that there. Another connected piece for more axemen. And then I guess I place this here. More axemen. Place that there. Even more axemen. And then I guess this here. And that there for even more axemen. Okay, I think this was well played. I think this is one of my better ones. Okay, so the way that the battle works is I decide what order all these guys fight in. And so, and if there's rules about it, the rules are sort of delineated here. You always get reminded of them. But the basic idea is each time you move one group onto another, they either, if they're opposed to each other, then they fight, and they're subtracted from each other. And whoever has the most troops wins, basically, and becomes the new unit. And then when you put 2 that are aligned with each other on top of each other, then they merge. And whichever type of troop is the larger number becomes the dominant type of troop. And so if I were to move my archers onto the axemen, for instance, they would all become axemen. And similarly, if I move the axemen onto the archers, they would all become axemen because I got more axemen than archers. And then whenever you are doing a fight, the rock, paper, scissors kicks in. So if I move the archers over against their axemen, then they have an advantage. And so instead of killing 1-to-1, where it's like, 9 of my archers will get killed by and kill 9 of their axemen, now it only takes 5 of my guys or something, or I don't remember, it's 6. It'll take 6. I'll lose 6 of my archers. They will kill half again as many of them. So to kill 9 of these guys, only 6 of my archers need to die instead of 9 of my archers needing to die. So this guy could beat these guys, only losing 6, and then they could beat these guys, still not losing everyone, but the swords, they've got an advantage over the archers. So what I would probably want to do is then merge the archers in with the axemen and then go after the swords. So let's do that. So let's move the archers over here, and then whoever is left from this will come over here, and then whoever's left from that will go over here, and then whoever's left from that will come over here. So basically, you just decide the order of the fights. You draw this little bouncy little path here, and then that determines how the battle plays out. So you hit start battle. We annihilate them, then we become Axemen, and now as Axemen, we come over here, and we beat them. Battle 1! So if I had lost, then whatever enemies remained would be taken out of my health over there. So don't want that to happen, but luckily this one went well. Okay, so we've got the kilns, which are good at forests. The carpenter gains wood for every building in its row. This is another thing making planes. Let's go with the kilns. All right, so now I only have one choice here, the wood depot, where we can obtain resources. So I can either get free 200 wood or lose 15 of my health and get 400 wood. Let's just go with the 200 for now. And then the trading fair, where I can trade resources for cards. So I can spend, I think, so I trade resources for other resources. That's right, so I can like trade up. So I'm not sure what wood is. So I know that food, money is for healing. Food is for expanding the number of cards I can bring into the fight. I'm not sure what wood is for aside from these events. It might just be about these events. So I think I'm going to go expand my food so I can bring more tiles into battle. And now we've got bonus resources. I'm really short on gold, so let's get some bonus gold resources. Free gift. Now this is interesting. I forgot at what rate gold heals me. And so, like, if I choose this, can I actually... Am I making a profit on this? Like, the extra 150, would I spend that to heal the 15 damage that I would take? Let's find out. So I just took 15 damage. Yeah, it's 10. So, like, if I just heal that back up again... I think I'm back where I started. That was actually, like, just a wash, wasn't it? Yeah, it's just like I chose the 150 choice. Those were the same choice. It's like... Yeah, it's like Pam looking at and saying it's the same picture. Okay, whatever. So this is my only option. Peaceful region, half and half. The boss gets stronger if I go here, but I don't have an alternative, so we're just going to go and do it. So no fights this time. I can unlock some stuff, though. And let's put the kilns on there. I guess I don't really need the military ones, right? Like, should I unselect them? Or is it good to have them just... I don't know if they... I haven't been paying attention to what happens when you explore, like, a building tile. Maybe that's where gold comes from. So maybe I want to keep all of my buildings so I can get gold by exploring. So I think I am going to do that. I only have the 6 buildings, though, so I've opened up more space than I can even use. All right, so this will be nice and peaceful. So let's put woods over here. Let's put this stuff over there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's probably all right. Hunting lodge. Oh, yeah, this recruits for every connected forest piece. I don't think that matters, but let's put them there. Then we'll do that. And I guess I should start filling this in. Yeah, so this is again about recruiting, which I don't care about, so I'll just put it wherever. And then let's pay attention to what happens when we explore that tile. Nothing. Okay, I thought maybe gold would come from those tiles, but no, it looks like I'm actually kind of, by bringing these military buildings in that don't have any military purpose, I think I'm actually kind of screwing myself over a little bit. Yeah, so basically what that means is I've got tiles that are not giving me anything when I explore them. And so I don't know if that means that Like, if I bring a bunch of extra tiles in, does that mean I'm going to fill this up faster and maybe miss out on terrain tiles that I could have gotten benefits from? Okay, I remember the charcoal kilns really like forests. I forgot why they like forests, but... Oh, 10 for each adjacent forest and an extra 50 if they're surrounded. Gotcha. Okay. I was thinking of slipping it under that little hole there, but I think I'm going to put it here so that theoretically I can surround it. Yeah, let's put that there. Let's slide this in here. Surround that a little bit more, gaining some money. Now the wood clearer, if I put him in the wrong place, he could mess up the kiln to make it so that they can't achieve the coverage that I want. So let's drop him here. He can still get me some wood, but he's not interfering with the kilns. And then, yeah, let's slide this one in there. And, okay. I'm going to put that there. Drop this here. Does that count as surrounded? Yes, it does. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it needed that diagonal piece to also be covered. And then let's slide that in there. And then I guess, I think the best advantage will be, oh no, I misread. Oh, dang it. Nope, I screwed up. I read this one as being the reverse of itself. So I thought I was going to be dropping it into this column, but no, I've got the backwards one. Dang it. Okay, well, let's get something out of it anyway. That was dumb. I should have put that one in. That would have been much better. Okay. Okay, well, I think it's fine. Okay, so we got some options here. A ranger base, recruiting archers for each forest piece, or a rally point, which recruits axemen for plains and fields. And if you get to at least 6, it gets extra axemen. Kind of like that, actually. Let's go with that. And now we've got another peaceful region. They're just forcing me through all these peaceful regions, and it's going to make the boss really hard. Okay, so this is a peaceful region with... It's got a lot more forest. So it's not... Okay, so I think maybe I want to just not bring my military ones. Let's only bring my production ones. Because I think the military ones were useless. I think they were not contributing positively to the outcome. So we'll do this. And let's save that one until there's a good place for it. That there. That there. The wood clearer. Let's... I would love to get maximum value out of this guy, which means I think I need to save him a little bit. Now I can put him in a good position to maximize his output. Though now I've got a piece that is going to make that difficult. Crap. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that there, even though that wastes some wood clearer. Okay, I got to start thinking about where I'm going to put the charcoal kilns. Can I? No. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, I don't want the kilns anywhere near this wood clearer. Wood clearer is going to cause me problems for the kilns. I might need to put the kilns aside until I can guarantee that a place will remain forested. So let's... There. That cleans up the remaining space that the wood clearer wants to use. So now I can probably find a good spot for the kiln. I think I'll put that there. That there. That there. Alright, so I don't know. Ooh, I got a lumberjack thingy. I'm trying to think. So, by the way, you can just switch back and forth between the one in the slot over here and the one that you're using to sort of indefinitely postpone having to make a decision, which is kind of cool. So I could put this here. I don't remember if I've already got, like if I'll be able to fill in this space with that. So I think I'm going to delay a little bit longer. Put that there, that there, that there. And then, yeah, I just got a bunch of squirrely shaped pieces. So let's put that there. And then I think this guy goes here. Lots of money. Ooh, tax collector. And then that guy goes there. And then yeah, what was I doing? That didn't make any difference. I can put this here, except that'll cut off some possibilities. So I think I'm actually going to put it here. And then put that there. So we got the 50. That's good. Okay, let's see. So I put that there. That there. This here. That there. Okay, yeah, that was probably all right. I got to explore the fields. That was important. So good. And now we get to choose. So I've already got a hunting lodge. They're not really offering me a lot of swords here. I'm getting a lot of archers and I'm getting a lot of axemen, not a lot of swords. They're kind of giving me a weakness here. So this likes to have production buildings near it. So that's worth bearing in mind. Let's grab that one, see how that plays out. And now we've got the trading fair. Oh, we're just going to run into the boss without a lot of practice with the combat system. Do I need a lot of this stuff? I don't know. None of this sounds amazing. I'm going to go no trade. Okay, here's the wall. This is a boss battle. It's 50-50 on the terrain. And now, I definitely want to bring my armies. In fact, should I bring... No, can I bring all of them? Yes, I can. So I'm going to bring all my armies. These guys are rocking... Okay, so this guy wants... These two want adjacent military buildings, so I need to isolate them from other military buildings. This one turns forests into plain and recruits stuff. So I want to put this guy in the plains. This guy recruits for each planar field. So I want to put this guy in the forest. So I want this guy in the plains, this guy in the forest to counteract what they want. Okay. Oh, also, I have to play below this red wall. And I'm not sure what causes the red wall to move. The red wall will slowly creep up the field, but I don't know what actually causes that to happen. So I have to play compact, though. I can't just stack up on one side. So this is the guy that I want to seal off from other buildings. The fortress turns forests into plains, so I want the fortress to be near plains, which means I want to put forest over here and plains over here. Or, I don't have a lot of space, so I'm going to, like, weasel that in like that. Now, this guy wants plains around him, so let's do that. And then this guy also wants plains around him, so I'm going to put it there. And then this guy goes over here to seal this one off. Then we got another one of those pavilions, which I again want to keep sealed off from other military buildings. I'm going to put this in reserve. You can actually keep an enemy there indefinitely. I want to put my charcoal kilns here, so they can benefit from the forests. And now I've got my training camp. Okay, so it wants to have my military... it wants allied military buildings aligned with it. I don't know where I'm going to be placing those, so I'm just going to put this in a central location, I think. This one, it just wants it's worried about adjacent forests. So this will seal it off as well as anything. And then the militia base, it wants production buildings in range. Okay, so I think what I want to do is this. And then this wants production buildings within its range, so I think I'm going to put this here, right? Because this will put 2 production buildings within its range. Is that what I want? Will they also be... Yeah, they won't both be in its range here. I'm just worried I'm not leaving a lot of room for that long forest I've got to try to stick somewhere. In fact, the long forest, no matter what, might only fit next to this guy and benefit this guy. And I think I'm stuck with that. So let's just... Oh, wait. Oh, good. Oh, it just barely moved this up. Okay, so now I can fit this over here if I want to, which I do. Plains here to become fields. Forest. That can go... What's this guy going to want? This guy wants to be adjacent to not plains. Actually, I don't want to mess up my forests here, so let's swap this for the strategic pavilion. Now that we've got room to drop this here... Oh no, that messed it up too. I'm an idiot. I want to surround this guy with forests, and I totally just failed to do that. This guy wants to be around fields, so I guess this is the place to drop him. That wasn't great. But we can put more on later. Yeah, he just cares about military buildings. I think this is the only safe place to stick that. This guy... No, that wasn't a safe place to stick that. Now this guy's all messed up. I could have maybe done something different. This is garbage. This is a bad place to put this. Actually, so what did the rally point want? It wants to be adjacent to plains. And it gets tougher when I put it adjacent to plains. So this would put it next to 1 plain. And it would get an extra 5. Can I tolerate that? I think it's better than leaving a giant hole. Though, I mean, I'm going to leave a giant hole no matter what. So hold on. Yeah, I think I'm leaving a giant hole in this no matter what I do. So I'm just going to put this here. This is bad for this guy. Oh, but this guy's going to... Oh, this guy's going to clear wood, though. This is good. This is good. Okay. So we do that. But then we drop the wood clearer. I said, wait. This guy wants production buildings in range. What's its range? Oh, I'll be outside no matter what I do. I've already covered its range. Okay, so let's eliminate the wood. And then it's going to contribute soldiers. All right, and then we've got a rally point, which likes adjacent plains and fields. So let's go with that. What's this guy going to be? This guy wants forests nearby. Good, we will have very few of those. Oh, wait, no, that's me. Oh, dang it, that's my thing. No, never mind. This guy also wants plains. This guy does not want plains. This guy does want plains. I've got no good choices. Everything sucks. Yeah, I've got no good choices. Everything sucks. This guy is not going to get the benefits of forests. I've just got all plains coming up here. So I'm going to slot it in here because I got nothing better to do with it. There, yeah, I think that's my only option, really. Put that here. Please move up, wall. Please move up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my only option is to drop this guy here, which means this guy gets no forests around him at all. I get nothing from this thing. And now we're going to hit the wall. So once you hit the wall, you're done. And now this wall piece drops and becomes a 30-point enemy. Okay, so I'm not doing great here. These guys are strong against my most plentiful troops. So what I think I need to do is use these troops to take out the swords. And I will not have that many left. And then I want to turn these guys into archers. So yeah, so I deplete some of these guys on the swords while killing more of the swords because these guys have an advantage on them. Then I take what remains of this, put it on the archers, so it gets subsumed into the archers, build up my archer strength, then go after the other archers, get destroyed by them, and then they'll have a bunch of health at the end, and this is not great. Okay, I think that's still my best move. Unless, no, wait. Would it be better to... No, it would not. Okay, so let's do that, and then get subsumed into that. I'm going to lose a bunch of health, but I don't know what else to do about it. So, there. And now we all become archers. Pile up the archers. Get destroyed by these guys. But I've got 50 health and I can absorb this. So that wasn't great. Luckily, I do have a bunch of gold, which means I can heal. So that was a boss battle. It's supposed to be hard. Stone mine. Harvest 4 stone for each forest and plain in range. Interesting. I don't know what stone is used for exactly. Recruit 2 and harvest 3 for each connected forest. Oh, right. So I'm going to grab the stone mines because I've never used a stone mine before. So yay, the Act 1 boss is defeated. There are 3 acts, however. So, okay, let's just heal like crazy. Take all my money. Boink, 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 boink. There we go. Okay, so now the question is, do I continue? Because I think you've gotten the point of how this works. However, my performance in the last battle was kind of miserable. I feel like I want to perform better, and I also want to find out how stone works, because I've never really used stone before. So let's go a little bit further. I might not go as far as the next boss, but let's go a little bit further. Production or military? Let's see if I can get some more variety in my military. It's still all axes and... Oh, fortress. Okay, so this... I don't know how mountain pieces work. Let's grab this just to find out. Hostile region 70 plus. And this has got even distribution, basically, between the 3 types of tile. Oh, this is going to be bad. Okay, let's... So I've got this stone fortress and this stone mine. Let's definitely keep all of our military buildings. It'll be hard to surround the kilns, but I'm going to need a lot of that healing stuff. I think what I don't necessarily need is a bunch of wood. I've got tons of wood. So let's kill the wood clearer and bring in the stone mine. And then let's take out this guy and bring in that guy. I think that's what we want. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Okay. So yeah, this guy's going to have mercenary camps, which don't have any special rules. He's got his own stone fortresses, which I want to keep away from mountains. Vantage points, which recruit for every plain or field adjacent to the connected mountain pieces. So if this is next to a mountain, then the mountain starts feeding it troops. So I need to have this guy not by a mountain. And then this guy not by a plain or a field. Okay. These rules start getting complicated. All right. How is this going to go? Okay, I've got a mountain piece. Cool. I guess I'll put this off to the side. This guy wants to be next to plains and fields. So I'll do that. I'm going to hold that in abeyance until I get... Oh, wait, no, this guy wants to be next to plains and fields, but it's a bad guy. I was almost about to make the dumb mistake of trying to place a bad guy piece well. Let's not do that. Let's put it over here, where it is not adjacent to a plain or field. Let's slide this guy in there. And now, mercenary camp, if I can eliminate one of those, that's probably good. So I'm going to stick this militia base up here on a pinnacle, which means it'll last a little bit longer, which means I have a chance to put production buildings near it. Training camp, each allied military building aligned with it. Was this one a military? It is. So, like, this isn't great. I mean, I could put it here, which would, I think, align it with this militia base. And it'll send it 12. And then we'll see what we can do in the future. I think that's my best move. And then we just got some... We got some this. Oh, I should have been looking at this. I don't have a good place to put this. I mean, I can put it here. Okay, actually, we want this watchtower to be aligned with this guy, which means I should probably... We can put the watchtower on top of it, I guess. But I should probably arrange for the watchtower to be... Oh, this is so bad. This is probably the simplest. I mean, I miss out on this, but it's probably for the best, right? Of course, another option would be to just drop the mercenary camp. There will be another one that I can avoid, so... Does that make things any better for me? I don't know. It explores more stuff. Okay, so the watchtower can go right on top of it, and I can try to pile some more things there. Around it. Sure. If this was supposed to be an example of me playing better, we're not seeing that work as I intended. I guess I'll... Now, this sets me up for this to be horrible. Yeah, there's... Okay, what does Stone Fortress want? It wants mountain pieces aligned with it. I can avoid that, can't I? I don't see any new mountain pieces coming. And then I can put this here. That... I'm like just weirdly obsessive about playing the Tetris of this. Even though that's not how this game is played. That's not what it's about. Like, yeah, I'm exploring these lines. That is a side goal. But I can't deal with not doing it that way. Okay, so this guy, I just need him not connected to mountains. That's the main thing I need. So let's put him there. Now I've got my own stone fortress that I do want aligned with mountains, right? So he's aligned with mountains if he goes this way. So I'm going to... Of course, he's blocking this guy off. He's not aligned with this. If I drop him like this... If I drop him like this, or like this, then he's aligned with this guy and he's aligned with the mountain. It cost me these pieces, but you know what? I need to be playing smarter anyway. So yeah, so he gets that, and he also gets that. That feels good. And then I can align him with another mountain. And then the kiln. Okay, we have the hunting lodge that wants to be connected to forest pieces. And then... Okay, so we can do this. And then this. And then what does the stone mine want? Oh, it harvests stone for every forest and plain in range. He's got kind of a long range. He's not... This isn't great positioning for that, though. So let's go with the... Okay, no. Here's my evil plan. I drop this here. It's not connected to any forest pieces, but I can connect it with this piece down here. So let's do that. And then it's also aligned with the training camp, and it gets that benefit. Oh, and it's a production building in addition to being a, oh, that's great. It's a production building in addition to being a military building. Okay. Things are looking up. The stone mine. Do I care yet? No. Let's... There's a great place to put this, though. So let's swap this in. So each forest and plain in range. We don't have a good place to put this. Except, now if I put it here, then I lose this opportunity. So... yeah, let's just cheap out and go this way. We got some stone. Okay, so this right there, that connects it to those pre-existing pieces. And now we pile up the troops. And it was already aligned with this. We don't get any new for that. Okay, my rally point, it likes adjacent plains and fields. So let's put some out here. And now we've got mountain bits. Okay, let's switch in the rally point. We can get adjacent stuff out of this guy. And then, oh, we've got a couple of these coming in. Okay, cool. And I guess, I don't know, just throw that in there. Why not? I realized that we wasted the potential of the charcoal kilns. We didn't put forest there. I wasn't even paying attention to that. So we're aligning these guys with my stone fortress. That's cool. Then that aligns with the rally point. Oh, and with the stone mine. Okay, cool. And now that final piece. Okay, so how did this go? All right, so the enemy is axemen and archers. I am also all axemen and archers. And so what I want to be doing is hitting their axemen with my archers first, and then not hitting my archers with their archers. So basically, the axemen are vulnerable on this map because the archers don't have any enemies that do extra damage to them, but the axemen do have enemies that do extra damage to them. So what I want to do is subsume all of my axemen in archers. And so I do that by starting with my archers and then having them eat the axemen. And then they become, this will be one giant pile of archers. And then we hit the axemen first, and then we just blow through the enemy archers. I haven't done any math. I think this ends with me on top. Piling up my archers first, then subsuming my axemen. And then the axemen take out their archers. My archers take out their axemen. Then my archers take out their archers. Yeah, and I'm up by 57 archers. Battle 1. Okay, that went way better than the boss battle. I'm feeling much better about it. And, oh, by the way, notice that the leftover people you have turn into money. So I got some extra money from that. I got an achievement for getting the extra money. And I think that, especially now that we're coming up on like 50 minutes, I think that is a good place to end this episode. So, oh, we got gold diggers. Gets money for adjacent mountain pieces. Recruit 2, actual swordsmen. Let's go with swordsmen. I don't even care how it works. All right, yeah, so we can keep going, but I'm not going to for right now because I think we've made an episode. But this is a fascinating game, isn't it? Like, it's just different from everything else. It's combining, like, really familiar ideas from other games, but you would never think of putting these particular ideas together. And they've done it in a really clever way. And that method of playing out the battles where you're kind of bouncing from troop to troop and you're deciding the order to try to maximize the advantage from the rock, paper, scissors mechanics, like, just every part of this has got some really clever, weird ideas in it, and I'm having a really great time. So if this seemed cool to you, I've got a link in the doobly-doo. You can go check out the game yourself. But this episode is over. So I will see you later.